welcome on into Courtside. I'm your host, Courtney Webb, and this is a digital series about QVC entrepreneurs. And we have one Miss Doris Dalton from Dalton. Welcome on in.
I'm so excited to be with you, Miss Courtney.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to have you. When I had this series, I was like, and Doris Dalton added, because I hear your story and your background, because I only get pieces of it.
Well, that's okay. I'm going to pull it all together for you.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Doris, just tell us a little bit from the beginning. I mean, I just want to know, first off, did you always know you wanted to get into beauty?
No, not even an inkling, not even at all, Court. Like, what if you were to ask Doris Dalton 25 years ago, was she going to have a beauty line and create products? I would have said, you're crazy. So no, I know it's crazy, right? It's I was a chiropractor, I'm a doctor, and it really very much enjoyed, my practice, a thriving practice, working on patients and doing all that, and I really quite enjoyed it. And so the answer really is no. No, I know.
So you were a chiropractor before. Do you still practice chiropractics?
I don't anymore. I practiced for 20 years. I mean, I practiced for 20 years and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed, working with the body and watching people heal and helping people get through disease processes. So it was really a very gratifying career choice for me. And Courtney, it really wasn't, honestly, until I suffered my own sort of setback that I ended up creating Dalton. So it's
a little bit about that. I mean, obviously the setback, you can be as candid as you'd wish, but we'd love to hear how that all started and what that meant for you to create this line.
Courtney, one thing people that know me know I'm pretty candid. And for people that are just getting to know me, I'm pretty candid. So actually, it's been over a decade now. I mean, I was diagnosed with a very, very rare form of cancer, a form of cancer called Hürthle cell carcinoma, which actually is one of the most extremely rare form of cancers that you can get. And it affected my thyroid. And the reason I know that, I knew that something was a matter. And obviously being a doctor, my eyebrows were falling out. I started to have this massive goiter on my neck. And I was like, wow, there's something going on with me. So when I went to get that taken care of and checked out, it was cancer and had to have my thyroid removed and had to go through all sorts of treatment. And when I was going through treatment, it's interesting enough because QVC and HSN just had their Beauty with Benefits, which just tugs at my heartstrings because I was one of those girls, right? I was, or boys, I was one of them, but I lost all my hair. I lost my brows. It put me into menopause. My skin was ravished. My skin was dry. And no matter what I put on, no matter what I did, I had completely at that time just lost my sense of self. I knew who I was internally, but I would look in the mirror and it was a stranger. It wasn't somebody that I knew. It wasn't somebody that I recognized. I was like, who is this girl? And I was either going to accept that disease process, excuse me, had won. And I'm not a quitter. And I'm not the type of person that just sits down, Court. So I started creating products really just to get my sense of self back, just to really make me feel somewhat whole again, somewhat, part of who I was again. And that's really how Dalton was born. It was a very selfish move. It wasn't meant to create products. It was just a personal move for myself. And that's how it came about. So it's an interesting story. And it's a great lemon to lemonade story. It was a tough road. I'm not even going to minimize how tough it was, but I turned out on the other side to being the happiest I possibly could be.
So you created this as a need for yourself and then decided I want to share it with other women, with other people.
Well, yeah, what's that adage that they say, necessity is the mother of all inventions?
Yeah.
And really, I was, listen, I'm a woman that loves beauty and loves beauty products and loves to take care of myself like most women do. And every time I would put something on, like, first of all, when you lose your brows when you're going through treatment, probably one of the most, it's even more devastating when you lose your brows than when you lose your hair, because you can put a wig on and kind of feel like you have a little bit of your crown and mane and glory on, but your brows you can't, because all of a sudden, and brows create like this symmetry in your face, like it frames your face, it lifts your eyes, and all of a sudden you have nothing there. And there was nothing, literally nothing on the market. And I had tried everything from markers that made me look like Groucho Marx, to powder that would slide off of my face, to like all these kind of things. And it didn't matter what I did. It just became like this vacant space. And I was like, what the heck? What am I going to do? So actually created Brow Fix. It's called Brow Lights now because we've made that formula even better. But it was the first cream gel powdered product that stayed on hair, that covered gray if you had it, that made it look like you had real brows. And to this day, it's the iconic product in Dalton's brand. And men use it, women use it. I mean, it doesn't matter. It actually creates the look of real brows. I have it on right now. I don't go home without it, between my Dunkin' Donuts and my brows on, right? I mean, so yeah, that was one of the first products that I ever created. And as soon as I created that, believe it or not, it was so weird because I started getting compliments on my brows. So here's someone that has none, Court, right? Like has no brows whatsoever. And all of a sudden people are saying how awesome your brows look. Woo. And I'm like, if they only knew. And it's like that kind of like that inner child that's in you. If they only knew how that had nothing. You know what I mean? It's like the emperor's clothes, it's like you don't even realize that you have some. So women were asking me, like, what are you using? What brow product do you use? And I'm like, well, I created it. And they're like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, no. And people ask for it, like girls, oh, I want it. And that's kind of how it started. I would give them in little, like little Tupperware pots, little tiny pots, and would give, and people would use it, girls, boys, doesn't matter, because men have the same situation, the same problem that women do, and men were using it. They were even using it in their mustaches, those little things, So that's kind of how Dalton started. It wasn't started to be a brand or anything. It was really just started to help people and to help myself. So it's an interesting backstory, and a lot of people don't know that story.
Oh, I appreciate you telling it, because I'm always curious what's the first product someone creates, because you just wonder, like, was it one that is still there today? Have you done evolutions of it? And clearly it is. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, Court, it's still there today. It's still one of our most requested products. But I mean, we went on now. Dalton is just a global phenomenon now. I am, like, and I said, from lemons to lemonade. Like, I am a whole pitcher of lemonade now. I mean, the reception that I get from, women and men, the first time that they try one of our products is what fuels my passion. Like, it changes their lives. It changes how they look and feel and view themselves. So it's so gratifying every single day that I go to work. And that is a big blessing. When you love what you do, you don't work. Like, I don't feel like I have a job. This is just, I'm like, this is just like a passion, and every single person that tries it and loves it and tells the story, because everyone has a story, I mean, that's it, right? That's all you can hope for in your entire life. And I've been able to live out that dream.
Well, and I think when you create something for yourself and then you share it with others and then you start getting feedback on it, that is a true, business goal. I think everyone who creates a company or creates a product, they want to have this like eternal round of camaraderie. And when you make a really high quality product, now your products are not just beautiful and well to use. They're cruelty free. They're clean beauty. Tell me all of those things that are so important that are in Dalton's products.
That's a really, really big deal. It always has been a big deal. And that circumvents back to being a cancer survivor and having treatment, having ravished skin. I still do. And a lot of times I'll show my face. I mean, of course, I'm all dolled up now because, you know, you can't be the only one cute on the video, Court. I had to be all cute, you know, but being a cancer survivor, first of all, knowledge is power, right? Like it changes the way you think and it changes the way that you feel. And when I say knowledge is power, I was putting on products that were irritating my skin, that were causing problems in my skin. And every time I would put something on, it was, one, not working, two, you know, it wasn't effective, three, I didn't even know what was in it. And this was back in the day, quite honestly, before clean beauty was a big deal. Like you're hearing about it now, which I'm really glad that every single, well, not every single, but beauty companies are jumping on board. That was my mission from the very start, as well as cruelty free. I've been cruelty free before people were into that. And they were big, like non-negotiables for me. It had to be really good, really effective, and really good to the skin or your brows or your lashes or wherever you were putting it. It had to work. I mean, we've even developed, Courtney, within Dalton is what we call the pink list. And of course, you know, I love everything pink. I had to put on a pretty pink blouse for you today. But what we do is we look for alternatives because they're, you know, not all natural ingredients are great.
Yeah. True.
And not all synthetic ingredients are bad. So it's really important that you know, you learn these things. And if you don't understand it, don't worry. We do the heavy lifting for you. You don't have to worry about that. You know, so we take ingredients and we use like alternatives that create maybe the slip or the glide or that feel, and we change what that ingredient is to a better form of ingredient. Because quite honestly, I'm the biggest guinea pig because I still have, you know, I've developed rosacea now because of the medication that I'll take until the good Lord takes me. So I have to watch what I put on my skin. So I'm the biggest guinea pig of them all. And if it works for me, then I know that it is going to work for other people that try it. But yeah, what you put on your skin. And that's when I took my doctor hat, right? Put on my doctor jacket, like, okay, how do we create these? These are the ingredients that are really good for like firming the skin or brightening the skin or tightening the skin. And all of our products, Court, all start their life as skincare. Like they don't start their life as like an idea. It's like, okay, it's skincare. Then we roll the color into it. So yeah, so it's an interesting way. We do things backwards, you know. But of course, you know, I always do things a little my own way. So it's okay.
But that's why we appreciate it, and the fact that you're doing all, like you said, the heavy lifting for us. Because a lot of the times, you know, I don't know all of the reasons why products are created or what should I be using, what shouldn't I be using. It takes a lot of research, and that is something that I want to take the time to do. But I appreciate when a brand has already done all of that due diligence. So then I can just say, does this look good on my skin tone? Yes, it solves a problem. Moving on.
Yeah, you know what? That's one thing that I will tell you, that with Dalton, you can trust that, right? I mean, that is all of our mission. I mean, Dalton has grown. I have an amazing team around me. It's not just me, like, you know, whipping up fudge in the kitchen, although I could eat some fudge. Everybody knows I like to eat, but I have an incredible team that when we get together, and that's the one thing, the takeaway from this is that the minute you try something from Dalton, it is going to be effective. It is going to do everything that I say that it's going to do, and most of the time more. But you know what? It's not chaotic. And that's really the ethos of Dalton, right? Like, give us 10 minutes and we'll change the way you see yourself. Like, just give us 10 minutes. And all of these products clean, they're clinically proven. You know, they take the chaos out of makeup. They're going to do exactly what I say that they're going to do, and usually more, but they're going to be so easy, because if it has instructions on it, Courtney, I'm the type of girl that still has 5 nuts and bolts after I read instructions laying on the floor.
Oh, no.
So it has to be super, super easy. And it just really has to be effective. It has to make you feel good. And that's really important to me, is like, really just how does someone feel when they put on one of our products?
Well, it's funny. We have some comments here. We have Ina, and she's just like, are there any new products to be aware of? She's so interested in what's coming up because she loves your line.
Well, Ina, that could take up the whole talk. But yeah, first of all, we just launched our first skincare product, which was our Sleep Assist Restorative Night Treatment, which, quite honestly, it's almost 100% 5-star reviews. And it is amazing. So the whole skincare line is rolling out. We have a day cream, an eye cream, a neck cream, a resurfacing serum, all of that. Because like I said, all of our products actually start really as skincare. So it really made sense. And everyone was asking it, out of me, like, Doris, when we want Dalton 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So that's why we started with the night cream. So I'm really excited about that. But I do have a new product that's coming up, and I have it sitting here. I'm going to sneak it a little bit, Court.
Oh, yeah, I hope you're paying attention.
This is our TSV that's coming up on June 15th. Wait, let me open up this bad boy so you can see it, because I am so proud of this. It is 8 gorgeous brand new lip shades in our really cool crayon component. And you know why I created this? It's a really interesting story too.
Go on.
We call this Colors to Live By, and it's a pun off of Words to Live By, right? And it was one of those things that I knew that a lipstick, believe it or not, is one of the most empowering color makeup products that you can put on your face that instantly changes your entire look, right? Like, I have on a pretty pink, but if I rocked a red in a pony, it would change the way I felt. And I can do a sexy nude lip with, a little more demure with a pair of jeans. So that is something that's new that's coming up that I'm really, can you tell, just a little tiny bit excited about?
I mean, I'm excited because I say the one thing that is, I think, the hardest for me to pick out is a lip. Because I just, there's so many shades. Not all of them look good on you. You have to really, but the fact that you're getting all of those to try and test and have different, personalities with it, I feel like that's up my speed right there.
All right, I'm going to put this up really close to the camera.
Yes.
Look at all the shades, from nudes to berries, so a little pop of red in there, some brown tone.
I love the names.
Yeah, the names. So I did that, and when I said these are colors to live by, it was a play off of words to live by. And really, when we talked about this during this today's special value, like, to me, like, those words, those sayings, those things were things that empowered me during a really bad time, like self-love, let go. These were terms they were mantras for me. Yeah. And I know, like, the world's a little crazy right now, and it is. I mean, if anyone denies that it is, then I don't know where you're living, because it is a little crazy. And I want everyone that the minute they put this on to be able to let go, to be able to say, I can, to be able to love yourself. So this kit was a real labor of love, because it really is a very deep connection for me, right? And for my team. I mean, we all sat around. There were some tears during this session too. Like, we were coming up with the names, and people were talking about what those names meant to them, and how those colors inspired them, and how they felt when they put it on. And that's really the difference between Dalton. We're not one of these brands that just pump stuff up out of a factory, right? We just don't do that. Yeah, it's like, I always kind of use that analogy. It's like grandma on Sunday in the kitchen making her best spaghetti sauce ever, right? You know it's going to be the best sauce because it's made with love. It takes time to produce. Yeah. It's done in a small batch. You know, so that's what we do at Dalton. We're not one of these big conglomerates that our products are going to be sitting on a shelf somewhere gathering dust. Like, that's not what's going to happen. There are hand curated batches to ensure the efficacy of them. We're not done in these big drums. It's done like small, and everything that we do is so really thought out. It's never going to be a Me Too product that you could go into your local department or cosmetic store or wherever that you would normally get your makeup from and find the same product. These products are all different, and we really pride ourselves on that. If you can get it somewhere else, you're not going to get it at Dalton. We're leaders in the industry. We're usually on this part of the wave before the wave ever curls and crests over. Sometimes we're even too soon on that part of the wave, and people are like, why is she making that? I'm like, hold on. There's a method to the madness.
But still, I think that's just so interesting that you say it like that, where you're like talking about it being these small batches. You think about them, because there are companies that just produce. They're just like, we need to make something new. And the fact that you take the time and the energy to say, no, I want to make something relevant and something that's meaningful, I think really sets apart entrepreneurs from maybe just giant machine running brands. And so I just really appreciate QVC, because I feel like QVC really finds those brands like you, Dalton, and they're able to share those stories that you didn't know of, but you realize you really appreciate as a consumer. So what does it mean for you to be at QVC?
You know, before you even asked me that question, I was ready just to pounce and jump right in there, because I'm going to tell you something that I love about QVC. There's many things. First of all, it feels like home to me. And everyone at QVC, honestly, is like a family member. And whether it is someone that works at QVC or someone that's viewing QVC, you're family to me. When I pull, you know, right now we're Skyping in, but when I pull my car into that parking lot, I feel like it's my driveway. Yeah. And the reason is this. It's like, it's interesting because, one, with QVC, I'm allowed to tell my story. If I'm sitting on a shelf somewhere and there's a product sitting there, doesn't have a story. You don't know what it's for. You don't know why you use it. And with QVC, I'm able to do that. I'm able to tell the why. Why is this product right for you or not right for you? You know, not every product is right for every person, and I know that. So, but how do I use it? How many times do you get something home and you don't even know where to put it? Exactly. So that's one of the things about QVC. And I'm going to tell you something about QVC. QVC is a family. And don't let and if you're part of QVC, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're new to QVC, welcome in, because you're going to be part of one of the biggest, best families, an extended family that you could ever be included in, because we really care. We care. We get customer feedback. That means you're telling me what I did right. You're telling me what I did wrong. Mm-hmm. You know, you're telling me, do you like it? Do you not like it? I mean, I have developed relationships with, you know, people that have tried the products, love the products, changed the way they thought about themselves, have experienced situations like I have. So, I mean, having that platform and being able to be myself and tell my story and to have the undying support of QVC as a company and the members, which are the community, I couldn't be more blessed. Really couldn't.
Well, and I think too, when every time I do an interview, I just hear how much love that entrepreneur has for QVC, because it's not just the entity of QVC, it's the consumer, it's the customer, it's those who are watching. Even if you've never bought anything, I think you said it so beautifully. Like, they are part of the family. They're an extension. You know, whether you want us there or not, like, we appreciate them.
Well, it's interesting too, because some of my dearest, closest friends are all part of the Q crew, you know, And some of those people have come and gone, and they are still my closest, dearest friends. I have new friends, and it's a really cool experience. And with QVC, you know what I like about it? I always think shopping is kind of like a personal thing. And I always liked it when I would go into a small boutique and the boutique owner would say, oh, this looks good on you. Try this top, and something maybe you would never try, like try this top with these pants, and you're like, oh no, that doesn't work. And all of a sudden you go in the dressing room and you try it on and you're like, dang, that looked good, you know? Right. So that's how I kind of feel like QVC is. It's like, as big as it is, it's very personal. It's very much like shopping in a boutique, and you have that shop owner that knows those products in and out, whether, I don't know, it's a lipstick or a frying pan or a pair of pants or a pair of shoes or a flashlight. They know all about it. They're the ones that have created or have been side to side, and they're telling you about it. Now, how many times do you walk into a department store and that stuff's just sitting there all lonely?
Right.
You almost feel sorry for it, Court. Just sitting there all by itself, like, pick me, and you walk right by it. So that's one of the things I think QVC is like, to me, as large as it is, it's really very much like a boutique. Like, it's like walking into a specialty boutique and the shop owner is holding your hand through the process.
What a great example. I really love that. I mean, it's exactly like that, because you have your hosts there who are like, welcome in. Look, we live here. And then we have our guests who are like, this is an expert. They created it. They're going to tell you how to use it and why you might need this product or why you may need this one instead. And so I think that is exactly aligned with what you're saying.
It's always felt like that to me. I mean, like, I just know that when I have a very different physical feeling when I walk into a small boutique with someone that has love and care for what they have, or I walk into a big department store and it's like crickets and I'm there by myself stumbling around the racks. Yeah. You know, so to me, I'd rather have that one-on-one attention as an individual that makes me, and then when I buy it, I know why it makes me feel special, because I'm getting that transfer of love from that shop owner. I'm feeling it when I put on whatever it is. I know that experience that I had. So it is, to me, it's a very personal thing. And I know when I get something home, I remember whether he or she was saying whatever they were saying about it. And, you know, and knowledge is power, right? Because you always transfer that, like, too, right? Someone will say, oh, I like your top. And you go, oh, well, this was this and this was that, you know, but you don't get that in a big department store. And like I said, and QVC is a massive, massive, massive retailer, but it doesn't feel like it to you know, to us that are purchasing, and to us that are able to present our products with.
It is. Well, speaking of that, we have an expert, Miss Doris Dalton here from Dalton. If you're just tuning in, you can shop Dalton on QVC.com. Now, Doris, tell us a little bit about maybe something to know about beauty, maybe a tip or a trick or maybe a myth you want to bust in the beauty department. But if someone was just kind of tuning into beauty, what is something that you would say you should always try this, or I want to debunk this myth about the beauty industry?
Okay. All right. So first of all, here is my tip for you. One, there's no right or wrong way. There really is no right or wrong way to do your makeup. Whatever makes you feel good, that end result was the right result. That was what you were searching for, and it happened. So there's no wrong way. Now, secondly, don't get in the makeup rut. Like I tell everyone, like, I know me, and back in the day, I would wear the same stuff that I wore since 1982. Like, so makeup changes. Colors change, formulas change, all of that. Don't get in that rut where you're wearing the same colored shadow or the same lipstick. Try something new. And when you try something new, let's stay with it for that day, because you'll put it on immediately and you'll go, oh, that doesn't feel like me. Yeah, because, you know, you're a little uneasy. You've been used to wearing that same color lipstick, for 20 years.
Right.
Just put a different color on, live with it. We see our reflection 160 times a day, whether it's through a phone, through a computer screen, through I don't know, you're going to the bathroom, you get up, you wash your hands, and right there's a mirror. You see it, right? So live with it for that day and see if you like it. See if you get compliments. See if someone in your family notices it. And that's what I say, try something new, because don't get in the rut. It's like getting a new car. You like getting a new car, or you like getting a new pair of shoes. Try something new when it comes to makeup, and know that there are no right or wrong ways. Whatever makes you feel like the best you is always going to be the right way.
Well, and it's so funny. We have Linda watching, and she says, I've done the rut. She's been in the rut, she says.
Listen, Linda, I get it. Most women get in the rut. And I'm going to tell you something that's really interesting, too. Back in the day, of course, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm about 2.5 days from being a grandmom. So
yay!
I know. I'm so excited. I'm even surprised I'm sitting down on this chair.
I'm shocked that you were even doing this.
I just texted my daughter-in-law, how you feeling? She's going in on Sunday, and we think he's going to be here on Monday. So I'm pretty excited about that, just a little bit.
And this is your first grandbaby, right?
It is my first grandbaby, and we know it's a little boy. And quite honestly, I can't wait. I just can't wait to see his little face. I can't wait. But it's interesting because why I was getting to this, I'm 57 years old. And being 57, growing up at a time when there really wasn't YouTube, or there wasn't, the availability to social media, where there wasn't, all of these different tips and tricks that were on there. I get being in the rut in 1982. But now everyone has a smartphone. Well, just about everyone. If you don't have a smartphone, you probably have a laptop, or you have a tablet, or you have some sort of way to get into the internet and to look. We do tutorials all the time on how to do the perfect brow, how to create a bigger looking lip, how to contour your face. So search that out. And it doesn't necessarily, and I've always said this, even if it's not Dalton, I hope that it is. Trust me, I do. But there's so many great influencers out there that'll go through step-to-step tutorials. So sit down, take 10 minutes for yourself. Please do it. Take those 10 minutes are power. 10 minutes are powerful. Take those 10 minutes and sit down and try something new just for yourself. Because if you're doing the same thing from 20 years ago, those things have changed. You've changed. Your skin has changed. Things about you have changed. So take the 10 minutes, try something different. It might be scary at first. You might look at yourself and say, that's not me. Like I said, live it with it for one day. See one of those 160 reflections. Do you like it? Sometimes it takes a minute to get used to.
And I think that's such great advice, because we are constantly changing. And especially now, we're kind of forced to change a little bit of how we do things. Teens, like what's maybe used to be normal and day to day. Now we're kind of like, why was I doing that? I don't know why I was doing that.
Well, for instance, I have to tell you, I remember, and I look back on pictures, in the 80s, I had what we call party up front. No, business up front, party in the back, whatever. Yes. I had this hair. The higher I could tease it, the closer to Jesus it was coming. And I was up this high, and I would spray glitter in it, and I had purple eyeliner all around, and I wore fuchsia lipstick. And you know what? I felt really pretty, and that's good. That's good that I felt pretty then. But if I was to come right now talking to you, Court, looking the way I did in 1980, with my hair teased up, with glitter in my hair, fuchsia, you'd be like, well, that girl needs to find a good YouTube person to teach her how to do a little makeup. So I've changed. I've changed a lot with my colors and my color choices and my style. And it can be uncomfortable, Courtney. You know that, because like I said, to change sometimes creates that feeling of being uncomfortable. And when, like I said, to circumvent back, like when I was sick, it was uncomfortable. It was a very uncomfortable feeling, not only physically, but emotionally. And that's one of the powerful things that makeup can do. Instantly, it can change the way you look at yourself. And that's why my passion is just overflowing.
Oh, and I can tell. I mean, it's so genuine, and your experiences have developed you to be the perfect advocate for someone who is looking for a new makeup brand. And also, I love that you're talking about tips and tricks and how you were showing us that you're doing those tutorials. Where can we find you and find some of those videos, and how can we follow the brand and support?
Yeah, find me. It's Dalton Beauty on Facebook. We do tutorials all the time. My girl Lee, she does tutorials all the time. So, and of different aspects and to look at. And then it's Dalton on Instagram, Dalton Beauty on Instagram, Dalton on Dalton.com. So Dalton Beauty, Instagram and Facebook, Dalton.com is our website where we do all kinds of things on there too. So, I mean, we're constantly staying with it. There's no what do they say? There's no moss on a rolling stone. There's no moss over here, Court.
Oh,
no moss.
I like that. I always talk about how I'm like a rough stone just rolling down a hill getting chipped on the way down, but it just polishes you up.
That's right. Just makes you rounder, makes that ride go a little smoother. Yeah. Trust me. Remember Fred Flintstone? He'd be like this, and now we have race cars.
I hear you. Well, I want to know real quick, have you ever had a no, like where someone physically said no, and you took that no and said, you know what, I'm gonna work with that. I'm gonna persevere, and I'm gonna come out in a different way. What was the no, and then what was the effect of it?
All right. Well, Court, I had a lot of no's. I mean, I had a lot of no's. I mean, a lot. But I don't let no in my vocabulary. I just look at no as a way to reconfigure something or relook at something. And was my vision something that I needed to kind of recreate or look at it somewhere different? I remember when I first started Dalton, my own mom said, "You're crazy." She said, "You are crazy. There's big companies out there. What are you doing?" And that was like kind of like a no. I had to rethink, like, is this what I should be doing? And I think by trusting in myself and trusting in my vision, those no's to me are just one door is shutting, but there's so many doors. There's another window that's going to open or another door that's going to open. And then I also take a look at, what is that no? Do I need to rethink what that is? Hey, listen, sometimes in my team, I'll sit down and they'll go, "No, Doris." And they'll have to explain why maybe something or you have to really keep an open mind, and you really have to try. I really think, Courtney, we as individuals don't trust our instincts as much as we should. We don't trust those inner voices as much as we should. And I have really opened up my mind and really learned to trust what I feel and to listen, to like keep those ears open. But no to me is like, really? No to me is like, I'll show you. I'll show you bigger. I'll show you faster. I'll show you harder. Because there's a lot of no's out there, and anybody that starts a business, anybody that's an entrepreneur, anybody, and it doesn't even have to be anything as global as what Dalton is. It could be something that you're starting. I don't care if you're making cupcakes in your kitchen, doesn't matter, but you're going to hear, trust yourself, believe in everything that you do, put your heart and soul in it. You might only be left with like a small valve in your aorta. You know what I mean? But you got to put that heart in there. And no to me is just, okay, how do I do it bigger, better, and faster, and grander, and whatever ER word that you can put on the end of it. Fabulouser, if that was a word.
No, seriously. So Marianne, she was even saying, she said, "Thank goodness for your perseverance and open mind and gut feelings. Always listen to your gut." She agrees with you. And I mean, I do too, because that is such a good point. We don't listen to our intuition enough. And I think it's because I personally will self-doubt. And you have to remove that, because it can really hinder so much progression. And like, look what you created out of something that you said, "I want to do it for myself because I want this for myself." And then you said, "Well, why can't I share it? Like, why wouldn't I want to create Dalton and then have this global brand that you didn't see coming, but it was out of passion and out of perseverance?"
And there was fear involved in there. There was self-doubt. I'm not going to tell you that there's not, because, you know, being a doctor, every person is born with innate intelligence. And it's an actual fact. You can look at this, and it's an innate intelligence. And it is that small little voice in your head that tells you that you can. And sometimes I think it's society that tells us that we can't. So I think you have to trust your innate intelligence, and your innate intelligence will tell you what is right and what is wrong. And you have to go then with your gut. And there, it is scary. It is scary because there's big conglomerates out there. Like, no matter what you're doing, it's like when I created the brow product and then the glow and all of these things, it was, well, who am I? Like, there's so many people, like, who am I to do these things? And I'm like, well, you know what? I know who I am. You have to then step back and say, I know who I am. I know that what I'm bringing is going to make somebody feel better because I went through it. And when you can share your own and open up and share your own personal experience, I think that's, you know, that's the creme de la creme, right? Like when you know how it makes you feel and you're able to allow someone else to feel those benefits. And like I said, whether it's makeup, Courtney, or whether it's a cupcake, it doesn't matter. When you're an entrepreneur, or when you're starting something or you have an idea, use your innate intelligence, use your gut, use no as an opening another door. Don't take no for an answer. You will fail. There will be times that you fail. No one is ever right 100% of the time. You take those failures and you take a look at those failures and you say, what did I do wrong? How could I do this better? Failure just means you tried. That's all failure means. You tried. So take a look and say, how do I change it and how do I make it better? So don't say, oh, I failed, that's it. No, you tried. Get up, put your big girl pants on, you know, and try a little harder, change it, do what's right, and keep going. It's really, really important. And it's a motto that I live by.
Yes, and then put on your Be Fearless lipstick. I want to see that future TSV one more time. And do you know when the TSV is becoming available?
It's June 16th. I think there's a pre-sale starting June 13th.
Ooh.
It's June 16th. Honestly, Court, I couldn't be beaming and more proud of this collection and what it means to every single person that touched and was part of this collaboration to put it together, naming them, everything. I mean, this to me was one of the biggest labors of love. And I've been doing and known as the Lip Authority for a decade, for a long time. So when we did a TSV, it had to be something that was out of this world. And she's out of this world. Just saying. You know, not that I'm going to pat myself on the back or anything, but it is that good. It is really that good.
Well, I will pat you on the back. Well done.
Thank you, my love. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us and for sharing with us. And I can't wait to hear about your new grandbaby that is coming. Keep us posted.
I have about 48 hours. I mean, I'm like sweating, spritzing. That's why I have to have a good foundation. Just thinking about it. I mean, I'm so happy. It doesn't matter what's happening. I'm just so happy right now. I mean, oh, Court, I can't wait to see his little face. Can't wait to touch him, you know. Well, I never thought I was going to be one of those people either, Court, you know, but it's like, I'm obsessed, and I haven't even met him yet, and I was just never thought I'd be like one of these overly doting, like, oh no, but I'm like turning into, you know, a little crazy over this thing.
Well, take it in, enjoy it, soak it up, share the love with those around you. We appreciate you so much. I know a lot of people are saying thank you so much for joining and telling your story and sharing about the new products as well.
Thank you, Court. I loved every minute of it. Thank you so much for taking the time with me today. And I love chatting with everybody. So thank you so much.
All right. We'll go shop Dalton on QVC.com and obviously Doris, and look at those tutorials with Leah. I know she has some great ones as well. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, my